Welcome to the Corner Office Podcast. I am here with Thomas and Jessica from Uptown Sox. Just like to say welcome, man. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us, Charles.
Thank you for having us, Charles.
How you guys doing?
It's good.
It's good?
Better that we're here with you.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm happy that you guys are here and that you brought all these lovely socks. Honestly, I was having a blast just staring at all the sayings that you guys have on here.
That's the thing. People stare at them, and yeah, we've seen it where they stare for 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
Yeah, when they're trying to pick out a pair.
Like, because you guys have some pop-up shops, and you guys find that what do people make comments about your socks?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, do they say it's offensive or something?
No, maybe a few times with our breast socks.
The ones that you're wearing.
I'm rocking it right now.
But, those are also our best sellers. So you can't please everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could make them even more offensive if anything. But
yeah, we try to keep it pretty clean.
Okay.
There's some other companies that have more curse words in it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say that on your podcast, the certain words, but we try to keep it pretty PG, funny, but
sassy.
Sassy. Yeah,
sassy.
that's the right word, sassy.
A little savage, but
do you guys do more basic styles then, or are they mostly funny?
we try to integrate a couple basic styles. So every season we do a different run. So, come fall, winter, we'll do, 8 pairs, 8 new styles for men, and then 8 new styles for ladies. And then again, with the next season, so twice a year, we have different styles, but then we'll do a plain, simple style, and then we'll do a funky style. We'll integrate funky styles as well. So
it's like a good mix.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you got to please your audience.
We try to have a sock for everybody.
Yeah, they're not all about boobs.
No, it's not all boobs. We have 4 boob socks, but it's not all boobs.
Okay.
So even during our subscriptions, we have people that specifically request, hey, they're a little too loud. We just want patterns. So we like to integrate a few plain patterns for some people who still want something bright, but not too crazy. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start with a little bit about your backgrounds. Were you always designing socks, or where do you guys come from?
So you can start off with yours, Jess.
So where did we start off? I have a background in interior design and architecture, so I studied both. And then I was always drawing stuff. I have a background in art, so I love to paint. And then he just approached me with this idea to start a sock company. I thought he was a little, I was like, are you on something today? Are you okay? No, I'm just kidding. But then, it just came to fruition. And so using Illustrator, creating renderings in architecture, we kind of translated that over to socks.
Gotcha.
So I worked with people with special needs for 12 years before I started this, and I loved it. It was great. But I always had business ideas. Every month I was going to her with a different business idea. I think one month it was crepes. We're opening up a crepe stand, and another month it was a pizza shop, or it was some type of bath bombs, and just crazy ideas all the time. And I think she always all right, sure. Why don't you just start something? And it eventually, when we got married, it got me into socks. She got me and all my groomsmen a fun pair of socks.
Nice.
So that's kind of what started it off. And then people started getting me socks for 2 years. I had a sock collection of 80 fun socks.
Yeah.
And then
I remember Valentine's Day, one day I just I hung socks everywhere, and then he went and graded all of the socks. So he's like, I give this one a 10 out of 10. So I had clothespins and they were hanging everywhere. And this is before we even started Uptown Sox, but he just had this passion. And I think it was a Friday night you were organizing your sock
I was organizing my sock drawer on a Friday night. Going through, folding everything up nicely.
Judging the patterns. And, it became a thing. Out of nowhere, it just started.
Out of nowhere, she was finishing her master's in architecture at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, we're starting a sock company. I think she just thought it was another one of my ideas that I bring up. And
this is for real.
Next thing you know, I found the manufacturer, and I was like, I need her to design socks. So she does all the designs.
Okay.
So I was like, I need you to design some socks for us. Here's some ideas that I'm thinking. And we started brainstorming. And so that's kind of how it started, really.
Okay, so this is back in 2016.
2016.
You guys have been in business for quite a long time then.
Yeah, fall of 2016 is when we launched. So probably mid-September. Okay,
so how much has it grown for you guys since then? What I'm assuming you started it very like very small, like a small operation in terms of like your manufacturers, you're ordering less pieces
Exactly.
to whatever you're doing now.
So we were, when we first started, we had 15 styles. We launched with 15,
That's a lot.
with
That
15 styles. It's really not much.
And we just had the men's collection.
And just the men's. So
Okay.
now we have men's, women's. We just launched a kids collection in the fall.
Okay.
But so we had 15 styles that we launched with. And the first day we launched, I went to a couple local stores here in Ottawa and got our socks into those stores.
Okay.
And I think now we're up to 160 SKUs.
Okay, really?
Yeah. So about 160 different styles right now.
Wow.
Men's, women's, and kids.
So do you think the women's sock game is improving? Because like socks, like funky socks, you think more of like guys wearing them, right? I love to see women rock more funky socks, right? But don't get me wrong. So like,
that's a great question.
Right?
I get
Like,
where you're going with this.
do you think it's been improving like since you guys have been in business, or since socks have been more sought after, let's say?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's a lot of business now that is women's socks. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's growing for sure from when we started.
I would say the sales are almost equal.
Oh, really?
For men and women, a lot of women buy socks. Not like there's men, it's more popular for men by like a hair, but a lot, like if I look at our subscriptions, it's almost equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, women do the shopping most of the time.
Yes, that's
so
true.
a lot of our customers
Yeah.
are women buying for their husbands, buying for their boyfriends, buying for their brother, and then buying a pair for themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Because I get socks for Christmas too.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like golf socks or whatever, right? Like like these kind of socks
Yeah.
for golf.
Yeah,
Right?
so somebody sees something, they're like, "Oh,
It's funny.
this fits this person that I know."
This
And
person,
they get
yeah.
and they get them a pair of socks, or they get them. It's an easy gift, right?
Yeah.
Are all of your fun socks, were they all given to you, or did you buy them all?
Mostly given to me, but I'm gonna start doing Uptown Socks. Like I genuinely love your designs. Like I can't say there's one that I wouldn't rock.
That means a lot.
That's
that
all
means
her.
a
She's-
lot.
she's
We'll
the talent.
get, yeah.
Yeah, because
You
like so I sell houses, so like I'm always showing off my socks, and yeah, like people actually comment on them a lot. Like
We have a real estate sock. We should. I don't know. I don't think we.
you should have brought it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to hook you up with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll give you.
cool.
We'll give you a
You
pair.
need a pair for sure.
Thank you. So you mentioned your subscription model a little bit. So like, tell me about that. Well, what's the deal with that? And yeah, what kind of business do you do with that?
So online, we just have an option, so you can buy any socks that we have, so any style. But then we have, you can sign up for a subscription, and it's great around Christmas because around Christmas, let me tell you, Charles, that people are hustling. They're hustling, bustling, running around, and they're trying to find that last minute gift. So what's great about the subscription is you can just buy it. And we have a printout, so you can print out the paper and you can give it as your gift. So you don't need to worry about shipping or anything like that. So a lot of our subscriptions that we get, when people sign up for them, it's usually around Christmas time. So,
Okay. So it's a
when they're
monthly
trying
subscription? You
yeah,
get
it's
like
a monthly
one box?
subscription.
It's a sock of the month club.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have an option of 1 pair or 2 pair. You can do 3 months, 6 months, or a year, or you can do reoccurring. So you can cancel at any time. So we have people that are on like year 2 of getting a pair of socks every month, and we have some people that are on like over a year of getting 2 pairs.
Okay.
We've had some customers for like 3 years. We're like, how many socks of ours do they have?
They're collectors.
And we have to make sure they're
Exactly.
not getting the same pair, because we've had some people where they've gotten 20 pairs of like they haven't canceled their subscription. So they're getting 20 pairs, and I have to go through, our whole spreadsheet to make sure they're not getting the same pair. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like for you guys, like I always wondered, well, not always wondered. You guys said you don't come from like a fashion industry. So like, how does just like, how do you just come up with like all this digital marketing that you guys do? First of all, your Instagram page is popping. It looks really good. It's clean. Like, it was just over time, or do you just have a knack for it like before you even started this business?
I think that's her background in design and architecture. And she went to Canterbury for art.
Okay.
So she's really good with that creative side of things. And we were part of a startup like marketing company before we started Uptown Sox.
Okay.
And that's got kind of like even pushed us to actually go out and try something on our own.
Yeah.
Was this, was our experiences of seeing, oh, this person can do that. I saw other people starting their own businesses and other clothing companies and Canadian clothing companies. And I was speaking to the owners directly when I was ordering. stuff for stores that we did some branding for and a rebrand for.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, we can do this ourselves. So that's what kind of led to that.
And a lot of what's in interior design and architecture kind of translates over. So all of the design software is really similar. So everything I learned at Algonquin in terms of using Illustrator, you know, we had to brand our own business cards when I was in the interior design program. So you can do that, you know, with socks. So you can just apply that and put it onto socks. There was a bit of a learning curve because, you know, the pattern has to meet at the back. You don't want, some of our earlier designs, the pattern would get cut into the heel. So you'd have the heel and then, you know, actually Tom's wearing a pair where you see the dinosaur kind of cutting through, which a lot of companies still do, but I like to kind of make it all work.
Perfectionist.
Yeah,
she's gotten a lot better at designing socks. Like now.
What do you design it on?
Sorry?
What do you design it on?
Illustrator, but I think you can use different programs, but I have a giant tablet and a pen, and so I just go into my...
You're drawing these things?
Yeah, so
No way.
I draw all of them, yeah. So...
I mean, you said you're an artist, but like, this is real stuff here.
Thank you.
Like I would, like, you draw all these this Boss Babe one you're drawing.
Yeah, so all of them, everything, you know, like all the cowboy boots, the sun, the birds. So, and that's, you know, I like to have this hand-drawn element, so it looks like it's not just an icon on the
it's
sock.
not just an emoji.
Yeah,
exactly. Some people just place their the logo or whatever it is on the sock.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they do it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you look at this Cat's Wine and True Crying sock here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
Yeah, just put it right in
There's
front of you.
almost a whole story to it.
Yeah, it's a whole tells a whole story through the sock. So it's got the dead body, the rope,
the chalk
the murder
outline.
weapon, the footprints.
Imagine
the
if there was
line.
actually a dead body.
So I know this is one of my favorites to look at because I know it took her a long time too to design. So.
You know what I find it's really cool? It's legitimately art. It's not just it's not just a sock. Now that I hear the inspiration behind it, like, that's just 10 times cooler. And I think your audience is. Do people know that you design all these?
He likes to advertise.
I make people know when we're
that's
out
so
selling.
cool. That's so amazing.
So a lot of people don't know it. I guess on our website we're not super loud about it. We don't boast about it on our social media because we're very much behind the scenes people. But there was something about you where I was thinking, I like Charles's vibe. Let's go do this. And we're not podcast people. We don't like to kind of be in the forefront. We like to be in the background, but we're like, let's connect. We're thinking, let's connect with him, and
she's got to argue with me to get me on camera. For social
this
media.
was a thing. This was a thing.
She's making me do this video. Have you seen some of the videos on there? I get some chirping from my friends.
But I would say in person, he very much tells people that because the story really helps people understand what we're about. So.
I think the human aspect. It's gonna help you guys, and I think it's awesome. Like, if I was buying your socks all the time, like, to hear that you now that I know that you're designing these, like, and drawing them by hand, that blows my mind. That's
we're not just trying to build like a sock company. We're trying to build a brand too. So
gotcha.
This, socks is one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
But we want to grow from this. We want people to know the Uptown Sox brand.
Yeah.
Across Canada.
And we've even been offered, so we've explored, different manufacturers, and, we have some great two great manufacturers that we work with now, but we've even been offered to have designers just do the work for us. But we really like to be in the forefront of that. We really like to be, head down doing the work because I think it's important.
Much more genuine.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I think your customers feel that, right? Like, these designs are not like generic designs. Like, none of them I've seen is generic. So that's for sure. Let's get into how'd you guys come up with the name? Did you fight about this?
No,
there was no fighting.
We fight about other things, but
mostly at Christmas time. That's our busy season.
Okay.
But it was 2016 when we're starting. We're trying to come up with different names. Where she was jotting down all these suggestions, and I was turning them all of them down. Nope. And then Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars came on the radio, and I was like, Uptown Funk. And I was like, Uptown Sox. I'm like, that has a good ring to it. And I brought it to her, and she's like, yeah, I like it. And that was as simple as that.
Okay, so it was quick.
We incorporated it. We trademarked the name, and
that's amazing. That's so cool. Like, I'll tell you how I found you guys. Basically, I was shopping at Bayshore for Christmas, and I saw your pop up, and then I went on Instagram right away, and like I said, it blew me away. So that's why I invited you guys here. How much do you guys love doing the pop ups? You said like that was your first one since COVID, right?
Since COVID,
you were doing them a lot before.
Yes, that was our first one at a mall since COVID. We did the Lansdowne Christmas Market the year before.
Okay.
So in 2021.
Okay.
But that was our first year back in a mall since COVID.
Okay.
2019, we were in 6 different malls in Ontario.
Okay.
2 in Ottawa, Bayshore and Saint Laurent. But this year we're just getting back into it slowly, and we decided just to go with Bayshore.
Gotcha.
We do a lot of markets as well, so a lot of local markets and stuff, especially during the holiday season.
Do you usually hire that out, or are you guys sometimes there?
We hire staff.
We hire staff, but I'm there a lot as well.
Okay.
So it depends where it is and what's happening. A lot of them, like there's certain markets that we do. There's a market called 613 Flea here in Ottawa.
Okay.
And we've been doing that since 2016 when we started. We had a table with 15 pairs of socks on it. That was our display.
Okay.
And we're there almost every month, and it's usually myself that's doing that there.
That's
It gets
cool.
us out in the community. We have a lot of regular customers that come find us there at those markets that we started with.
Do you think you're a sales guy?
100%.
I am more of the
Okay.
sales. I'm more of the sales aspect.
Okay.
More of the sales for the business.
And your back end design,
So
creative.
we're actually going to Alberta in a day or so. So we're catching a flight to Alberta to go to a trade show.
Oh, nice.
And I like doing back end, but he says, Jess, come. And together, I think we're a bit of a force to be reckoned with in a good way. You know, just together collectively, we work really well, and you know, we can often explain the product better together. But he likes me there, and he thinks I add a good element. We did a trade show in Toronto, and I'm bilingual, so there were a lot of people from Montreal and stuff. So killed it with those people. But I love French. I love French people. I love people, you know, on the Quebec side. So we really vibed. It's been a challenge to get into the Quebec market.
Okay.
But you know, we were pleasantly surprised by all the people that were at the trade show in Toronto. You know, by all the people who were from Montreal, and they're my people. Like I connected with them, and so
you're from Montreal?
My dad lives on the Quebec side, so he lives in Saint-Jérôme. So I'm half French, half, you know, from Ontario. So
Saint-Jérôme, that's where they make like the pucks, eh?
The where?
The pucks, like the hockey pucks.
Oh, I had no idea.
All of the NHL pucks are made there.
I don't know. My dad that.
Yeah, ask
Tips by Charles. There we go. Hockey puck Saint-Jérôme.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask my dad. But yeah, you asked if we liked doing the pop-ups. We love them. Like we love having them, but to set them up is a whole other aspect because we're so involved in that too. So we wrap the whole cart. So we order vinyl online, and I think sometimes he'll think, Jess, you wear so many hats, we're gonna order vinyl and figure this out, and we do, but sometimes it's like a whole crazy mess, and it's amazing. So you have this, like, I've never done it before, so I'm watching YouTube videos. How do we wrap this, you know? So I unroll it, and I think, how hard can this be? And there's bubbles everywhere in the vinyl, and you're trying to wrap it, and it's a disaster. Then he tries to do it to help me, and then it's even worse. I'm like, move over, don't do it. And then he's my assistant in that respect, but then and then we create the signs for the pop-ups too. So I, design all that and then send them off to the printer. And then, so before the pop-up was up in Bayshore, the night before we opened, we were there till 3 a.m. putting it all together. Yeah. So it's a lot. So we're really hands-on with a lot of the elements.
You guys are hustlers.
In 2019, we opened up at Oshawa. I got there, had somebody drop off the display units. We couldn't set up until the malls closed the night before. So we're setting it up. The wrong display unit was dropped off there.
Oh.
So I have to drive from Oshawa to Vaughan back and then reset up everything else. By the time I finished, it was 6 a.m, I think. And then I had to be back there at 8, the train staff. So we're a growing company. So when you're growing a brand, part of it is your own, you have to sweat. You have to be there. You have to work on it. Eventually,
yes.
It'd be nicer to take a little bit of a step back.
Yeah.
And have some other people doing some of these tasks.
But at the beginning, you're so involved.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the dynamics of like being a couple in business.
How did
that's
I know
really
you were
fun.
going to ask this? I love it.
I love it because like
Everybody asks her that.
I'll tell
I
you,
get
like,
asked that question all
I don't
the
think
time.
I could do it with my wife. Like I feel like we'd be just like talking about it 24/7. There's no separation. And
That's a fair question.
how is it?
It's good. We enjoy
like
it for
it?
the most part. Yeah, like
We've almost come to joke about it because around Christmas, it's so wild. Around the holiday
Yeah.
season, everyone's celebrating whatever holiday it is that they celebrate. But we always laugh about it and we call it divorce season.
she doesn't see me during Christmas. Like
Yeah.
I'm out running a lot of like the pop-ups and everything
Okay.
else that's
Yeah.
going on. And then
Like what do you guys talk about at dinner? Hey guys, we sold X amount of socks today.
no, we
I just
try.
want to go back, even like around Christmas, I'm like, divorce season, let's go. And then we pound it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, all right, let's get through divorce season.
No, we're good.
Yeah, no, what do we
We
talk
have
about at
different
dinner?
strengths. What do we talk about at dinner?
We talk about trash TV sometimes. So
Okay.
we talk about what's like perfect matches on now. So we talk tea about that.
Is that Love is Blind? That's Love is Blind-ish.
Yeah, and then so I watch it. So we love
gets
Game
me into the
and we
trash
love
TV,
and we love Game of Thrones too. But we'll get into that. And then he sees it in his peripheral vision, and he's like, I can't believe this guy's doing this. And then he can't watch it.
Oh, you fall into it, though.
Yeah, you fall
for
into
sure.
that.
Yeah, you fall in love with the
Yeah,
character.
we talk about travel a lot too.
Okay.
Right now we're doing HelloFresh, so we talk about. You're like,
Nice.
oh, this is a
HelloFresh
good.
is awesome.
It's amazing.
it's
We're like
great.
this recipe kicked ass. It's great. So or this one sucks. Or he put almond milk in the vanilla almond milk in the ravioli the other day, and so we rolled with it. So we just talk about random stuff.
Sometimes you have to turn it off, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like how do you do that?
honestly, sometimes it
Do you
can
have,
be
like,
hard.
rules?
Sometimes it can, no, there's no rules. I wish there was sometimes, but
Okay.
we have to like set sometimes certain date nights. It's like, all right, like I bought tickets for the show. We're going to the show this night. Like we're turning everything off.
But then you'll be like, we just got a sale on your phone. I'm just kidding.
Sometimes we like to go on vacation.
We love to
How
travel.
does that work? Because you're so hands-on.
Well, we have a third business partner, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah, okay.
we're both full time. He has a full time job outside of this.
Okay.
His background is in business accounting.
Okay.
So when we're gone, he'll take care of the ship, but we'll still answer some. We're never fully off.
Yeah.
There's always
I feel the same way.
like an email that comes in or something, even when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
I try to check it, maybe respond once a day to the emails while we're gone, but like there's never fully turning it off. Like,
I'm never fully off. Like I went to
as-
Punta Cana 2 weeks ago, and I feel like I was just working remotely.
Yeah,
I was just
Really?
exactly.
at a
Like,
different
know,
location.
yeah, I'll turn the phone off during the day if we're on vacation and like answer the emails in the morning or in the evening.
Okay.
But like, we've had people message us, like text us while we're on vacation, like,
Okay.
hey, you're not responding quick enough. Like, we're trying.
Yeah.
But so I think it was a year ago we went to Niagara, and so
For work?
just for fun,
Okay.
to turn it off. And our products it was the first time we got into the bay. So our one of our products got into the bay, which we'll talk about after. And we were so excited, but freight is such a crazy, like to ship everything to the bay is, it's exciting to think about, but to actually book a freight company, it's funny because when you book it, you think it's all going to be amazing, but then the schedules, they come back to you and I said, okay, it's confirmed. And they'll say, okay, so yeah, maybe we'll come around this time. I'm pretty sure we'll pick it up. But then if you don't get the product to the bay on time, there's a huge fee. It's a huge ordeal, right? So anyways, we were in Niagara, and then we got a message from the freight company saying that our order wasn't picked up, or we didn't, it was a whole thing. So it was our first time being accepted by the bay, and we were so excited because, we love
That's
them,
huge.
and it was a
Just
huge
learning
thing.
curve, right?
Yeah.
So we were trying to turn it off, and going. We had a pool on the top of our hotel. It was the first time in a while we had escaped, and then we get this message that's, saying that our product, wasn't picked up on time or whatnot, and so we definitely had a little moment where our hearts palpitated, but it worked out, and everything, they were so kind to us, and it all worked out in the end, I would say. But that was a
You're
moment.
like pulling into a Starbucks and getting on the computer.
Yeah.
right away
Yeah,
and,
we
and on the phone trying to figure this out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like designated roles? Like, so if that crisis happens, are you just like I'm really
like
curious
you.
because it's like, do you go like, no, you do it. No, you got to do it. Like, or is it just like, it just blends well?
Yeah, it depends really on
I'm so curious.
A situation like that, it's something that we both like. Okay, we both need to take care of this right now. This is the priority, right? This if it's like in a not emergency situation, but something that's what's the word?
I mean, obviously you both really care about it. So, okay, let's not talk about that situation because both of you guys would be like on the ground. But let's say like one of your employees at the pop-up calling sick. You're like, nah, you go tonight.
No, that's me heading there. That's me heading there.
I'm back up.
Okay. So
I try to avoid it. She does enough stuff behind the scenes where something like that, like I'll take the extra heat at Christmas time or during the pop-up.
But that does happen.
Yeah, it does happen.
Where staff is unavailable, so one of us, it's the only choice, right? So one of us has to show up. And so if he's not there, then I'm there. Because I guess in a sense we do have designated roles. So Tom is present, in person when it comes to sales and whatnot. And then me, it's design. So that's more my role. And then if I'm having a bad day, if I'm not feeling well, if I'm sick, then I'll tell him, can you please respond to this person? Because usually I'm responding back.
Okay, so you're the social media person.
I'm more social media, designing. We do a lot of custom
said yes
stock.
to the podcast.
Okay,
she's the one you were talking
and
to.
then we were really busy, so I said, can you message Charles? So he's my backup in that respect.
Gotcha.
So
yesterday that was me.
We have undefined roles, but they're pretty defined in our heads. But then we're backups to each other.
We'll help each other out when we can.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
Like if I find that she's overworked or backed up, because we do like custom socks as well. So
let's talk about that after. Yeah, for sure.
So she'll get backed up with certain stuff, and I'll be like, you know what? Take a break for a second. Let me handle. I'll take care of the emails. I'll take care of everything else that's going on, and she'll do the same for me when it comes to certain things. Like she'll be like, you're getting worn out.
Yeah,
you need to take a step back.
Yeah. Last thing I'll ask you before this break is like, do you guys set hours then, like, or are you designing socks at like midnight?
Yes, we are designing socks, but we've been trying to make, so it's been a learning curve in terms of turning stuff off. You said you never turn off. He wants to say that I never turn off.
No, I'm the morning person, so I'm up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Right now it's like past my bedtime. I'm ready to turn things off at this time. It comes a certain time, unless it's a priority, I can turn things off in the evening if I have to. But she'll sleep in a little bit more, but she'll work and design socks. So sometimes I'll wake up, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. She's sitting at the table designing. I'm like, go to bed.
Really?
Yeah. She's more of the night owl, the creative. I don't know if it has to do with the creative personality of hers.
I think so.
Or the schooling, where she's just working at night, where I'm like, wake up at 6 a.m. Let's get things started. Respond back to emails.
Yeah.
Ship out the product, do what I need to do.
I love it.
So in interior design and architecture, your profs, I've had profs where they expect you to be at school till 2 a.m.
Hold that thought, because the camera's about to die. So we'll
all right,
we'll come back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
we're having a lot of fun. You guys know how long it's gonna be. We're having fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. All right, so we're back, guys. Thanks again for coming on the show. So hope you guys have fun.
Oh, it's good.
Oh my gosh,
you
so much
you
fun.
guys having fun?
Yeah.
Right. It's a good way to spend a Wednesday evening. Eh?
That's not too bad.
No, it's good.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. You could be grinding away and responding to emails. Designing socks is fun. I think that would be actually pretty cool.
If I was home, I think I'd be packaging socks right now to ship. So
it's way better. No, it's
out of my garage in the cold garage right
Yeah.
now in February.
We're having a few drinks, chilling with you, Charles. Yeah, no, it's good.
I think we could be friends. I like it.
I think so too.
Let's talk about like your inspiration for like designing, like making these designs, because like I'm curious, like, do you follow trends, or is it just like do you just see something online that like really resonates with you? How do you come up with these things, like these sayings and all that stuff?
So, Charles, I have to be super transparent with you, because Tom and I were speculating questions you would ask us. So he said he's going to ask you about the designs, and the answer to that is so vague, but it's so specific at the same time. So it comes from all. So when we design our sock, our inspiration comes from all over the place. So a lot of the times Tom will do trade shows, and he'll come back, and he gets suggestions from people, and he hears what they're looking for. So we obviously have to create patterns that will sell. So, what's popular and how we're going, and then we're going to create, we know that we're going to create something that's popular, but at the same time, we want to put our own spin on it. So a lot of the time it's feedback. We see what people are searching on our website, but, we always want to make it a little bit different. I feel like you want to chime in.
Like,
I'm getting a vibe.
No. Like every sock company has a beer sock.
Okay.
And so it's like, all right, we need to do a beer sock, but how can we put our own twist onto it?
Okay.
Right. And sometimes it's myself coming up with an idea, but half the time it's just her going and designing the sock and just really like playing with it and asking me how it looks. She gets final say when it comes to all designs.
Okay.
I'll chirp in and be like, hey, we really need to do this. This is really hot. I've got asked for this so many times. We need this sock. And she'll go ahead and start designing it. And then other times, like with the boob socks.
Yeah.
She was designing it and I was like, absolutely not. Like, what is this?
Really?
I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. Like I'm getting old, right? So I'm not with the trends. I was like, absolutely not. That's too much.
We had to ask a few people.
She's like, it's a thing right now. There's like, I've never seen a boob sock, but there's boobs on bags. They're on mugs. She's like, it's a popular like trending thing. She's like, but there's no one's doing a sock like that. And I said, well, let me call my sister. And my sister was like, absolutely. I called another friend of mine that was a woman. She's like, absolutely. I'll buy them for all my friends. So I was like, go for it. The first day we brought it out to like a market. I brought like 12 with me. Sold all of them in like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, all right. And now it's like,
sometimes you just don't know if it's going to pop off.
yeah, exactly. And now it's our most popular sock. Right?
And now he tells me, Jess, please do them in different colors. Please make them in teal.
Yeah,
please make them in, because they do really well. So yeah, it's often feedback. And we were talking about comfort zones. So sometimes when a design feels safe, that's great. But I remember being uncomfortable about this one design. It was the first sort of savage, sassy design that we did. And I said, is this too rude?
What was that?
It was an octopus that said, we still carry it because it still does really well to this day. But it was an octopus that says, I can slap 8 people at once. And I thought, is that too rude? Is that who we are? And people loved it. People see it and they laugh. And so I find the more riskier the design, the more reward, the more
it gets people talking.
Yeah, it's like social media, like anything, it's a little bit more risky, so it gets more attention, whether it's good or bad, because the boob sock does get bad attention for sure, but more often not good attention. So I think getting out of our comfort zone, being a little bit risky, and having some safe designs as well, but having some risky designs that has been beneficial to us. Yeah,
I think our first 16 designs we did, we were designing based on what we liked.
Okay.
And what we come to learn very quickly with those designs was just because we like them doesn't mean they're going to sell.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to pivot quick and like adjust to what people want and what the market wants. Because necessarily, like I like bright, fun colors, but a lot of men tend to lean more towards the blacks, the grays, the darker colors. A lot of our men's socks that do really well we have a tool sock. It says, I work with a bunch of tools. So like gone fishing sock.
Okay.
Gear socks. Kind of like these
Classic
stereotypical manly activities and hobbies tend to do well because there's a lot of women like, oh, that's for my husband, right?
Yeah.
So they lean that way. But like, we kind of go back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll be out at a store and see something else that's not on a sock, but on like a mug or something else. And we're like, oh, we really like that color combination, or we like, oh, that's a cool idea. How can we twist that and make that into a sock?
Understood. Right? Yeah.
So
are there designs that you just completely scrapped after designing them?
Oh yeah, definitely. We had one. I think it had a donkey. It said something about. It was just really ugly.
Yeah, like
it was.
I'm expecting
really
you to say
ugly.
yes.
Yeah,
it's just like anybody.
Sometimes they get put on the shelf for a while and then we bring them back. And there's socks that we've discontinued too.
Okay.
Like out of the first 16 pairs, I think there's like 2 of those original styles left.
Yeah, it's trial and error, right?
Exactly. And sometimes something's a really good seller and it slows down and you bring something else in to replace it.
Do you follow trends? So like, for example, like let's say it's like for example, the Super Bowl just happened recently. Like, will you design a sock just for that, or will it only be custom if they want that?
So you got to be careful too with.
Yes,
for licensing, right? Licensing,
sorry,
right?
I think only time we did
like
that
Thanksgiving, for example.
So we do.
Like
We
you
definitely.
definitely do the holidays.
We definitely do holidays.
We did some COVID socks too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we
Yeah.
had some with toilet paper. So there was a toilet paper
That's
roll coming out the
hilarious.
bag.
It was like 2020. It was everything that was going wrong in 2020.
They had Carol Baskin on it.
Yeah, like it was like
Yeah.
Tiger
Goodness.
King, hornet bees, whatever. What were they called? Toilet paper. There's a little virus.
There's a
things
tiger with a
floating
crown.
around.
It was just red. Everything that happened in that year, and
Yeah.
so we sold out of that pair, and then but. Typically, we can't just get the turnaround. The turnaround time can't be quick enough to follow. Because usually, when a trend happens, on Instagram or TikTok,
Yeah.
it's rapid, right? Do you remember when there was the Bernie photo like this?
Yes, the meme. Yes.
Everyone was, and I said, imagine Bernie socks, but it would take a month to almost produce that, if not, 40 days to get that going, and it would be done by then. So
Gotcha.
to spit something out that quickly would be challenging, but. Sometimes we try to stay on, like the boobs were on trend a little bit.
Yeah, right after COVID hit too, we did launch like a social distance and chill sock, and then we gave all the profits of that sock to the food bank.
Oh, that's very
Well.
generous.
So
of
like
you.
right
Nice.
away we ordered them twice. It's smaller orders than we normally do, but
Yeah.
they went pretty quick.
That's awesome.
And people like them.
And
so.
you do good with that. So I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's awesome.
It was like that was pretty quick right after. I think we
Yeah.
started designing that like in March 2020, right? So
Okay.
it was like right when things started going, we're like, all right, well, let's do something and like
Yeah.
give back while we can.
Yeah. So from that, let's talk about like your custom orders, because I know you guys do custom designs for your customers.
Yep.
Walk me through the process of like, let's say I was a new customer and I wanted to say like I wanted to get a new design. Like how would that go?
So minimum orders start at 100 pairs.
Okay.
Obviously, the more we have different price brackets for the amount you order,
yeah.
different quantities. And so some people will come to us and we'll set up like a meeting, and they'll talk to Jess, and they will tell her, give her some, hey, this is an idea I have. Or some of them are very specific. I want this logo on the sock, and I want these colors, and I want stripes here. And then other people were like, hey, this is what I want on it. Go to town, come up with some ideas.
That'd be me.
And then she'll take over. She does some mock-ups like
Yeah, so we're actually doing a few custom socks right now. So there's the Doctor Who Society of Ottawa reached out to me. I have a friend, she's an accountant for GDFL. What's up, Kata? And so I just did her socks, and they love them. They're going to do 1,000 more pairs. We've done McDonald's socks. We've done a lot of universities and colleges.
Oh,
so
nice.
so we're doing Algonquin right now.
So it's mostly like corporate that
Yeah,
instead of
because
like
mostly corporate, or people are fundraisers too. So some people purchase them for fundraisers where they're reselling them.
because our minimum order is 100 pairs
Yeah.
for
So
that.
it's not just one person buying them for themselves.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
You
gotcha.
know, we can't just do a single one-off.
Yeah,
We
because
w-
they're hand drawn. They're not just
And just to get
Copy-paste,
them,
you know.
manufactured too.
Yeah.
Right? We have our minimums,
gotcha.
Yeah.
and
It would be cool to do minimums, because we do often get, like, can you just, we do get emails that say, can you put a kangaroo on a sock for my dad? And we wish we could, but we just can't because of our minimums. Yeah. But it's something we wish we could do. We just don't have the capacity.
done some fun companies and stuff.
Okay.
Shopify and
Nice.
Desjardins.
So they have a meeting with you. They design the sock, and then after that, like you send the mock-ups, and then usually it just goes straight to production, and then
Yeah, as soon as
boom, there you go.
as soon as they give the approval, it goes out to get manufactured. We get a sample, we take a picture of it for them, send it to them, they approve it. Usually about 35-day turnover.
Okay, nice. And then and then more on the technical side, I saw on your Instagram it's 70% combed cotton.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on like why you chose combed cotton 70%? Like what's the makeup of your socks?
Well, cotton breathes, so that's
Okay.
obvious, right?
Okay.
Polyester is a lot cheaper.
Okay.
But cotton just feels nicer on the skin. And it has the 28% nylon and spandex, because I have a size 13 foot.
Okay.
So I need
Stretches
so a
a
lot of like fun socks before, like I had trouble, like I would rip them trying to put them on because they didn't fit my foot.
Okay.
So just like this mixture works well, where I can wear them as a size 13, or people with a size 9 foot men could wear them as well.
Okay.
We
So
even had
there's a lot of stretch.
We even had an awesome dude. Who came to our booth, and he had a size 16 foot. And I said, you can try it. I can't guarantee that it will fit you, but it fit him, because there's just so much stretch to them. That's where the nylon and spandex come in, where
Gotcha.
you get that stretch.
So you fit in a mix of durability, breathability, and stretch.
Yeah.
We
And that's where you
reinforce our
can-
toes and heels too, so that they
Okay,
And
yeah,
I-
because the
longer.
heels is the main thing that for me
Everyone's
at least.
different. Some people are
yeah.
toes, some people are
toe.
heels.
Oh really? Eh? Okay.
Yeah,
For me,
it's a mix.
It's a heel.
Oh,
I'm a heel guy, yeah.
A little hole,
See, a lot
holes
of
in the heel.
people don't
Yeah.
realize with like these type of socks, technically they're supposed to be washed in cold and hung to dry. Any fun sock like
yes.
this with
Okay,
cotton
tell
in
me
it.
about. Okay,
Any fun sock like
I've been drying my socks like no tomorrow.
that's made with cotton. So when people throw them in the dryer, hey, most people throw socks in the dryer.
Yeah.
But if you really want them to last that extra mile, wash in cold, hang to dry.
Okay, I gotta tell my wife that you stop drying my socks.
especially the fun ones, right?
Okay,
Like those fun
yeah.
pattern
I'll be
ones.
buying it from you guys, so for sure.
But
I'm gonna tell her.
realistically, ain't nobody got time.
Nobody puts them in the
Ain't nobody
dryer.
got time.
I'll tell people that. They'll be
Everybody
like,
puts them in
yeah,
the
I just throw them in the
Even-
I throw mine in the dryer
Even
too.
we
now,
do
I'm not
that,
gonna lie.
but realistically, if you are conscientious and really care about that, ideally you want to hang them. But
it's
even
better
us,
for the environment too, right?
Yes.
yeah, we're too busy designing socks and selling socks that even we put them in the dryer. But
Yeah.
we also
That's
have
the
ample.
recommended washing
We also-
Gotcha.
instructions.
Yeah.
Most
Gotcha.
people don't.
But we also have ample
About their
replacements.
socks.
Cold, like tap water cold.
Right?
Wash them in tap
Yeah,
water
yeah,
cold.
Yeah,
exactly.
cold,
Okay.
yeah.
It's because cotton shrinks.
Yeah.
You get them on your feet,
Yeah.
they stretch back out with the nylon and spandex, put them in the dryer again, shrink up.
When you have a
expand.
great pair of cotton jeans and you put them in the dryer and they're a little
Yeah.
tight, so
I have that all the time.
you've had spaghetti that night.
They last
know,
well. They
same
last
with the
well too.
socks.
We're pretty good. If anyone has a problem too quickly with the socks, like we'll replace it for them, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. Like
We try to keep good customer service.
That's
Like
the
we're right on
big
top
thing.
of it. We try to make our customers happy, and we have a lot of returning customers for that reason. So.
Because maintaining your returning customers is so important.
Yeah.
It's way easier to retain than obtain new ones. And
Yeah.
it's so important to us, that retention. And, anyone that's an existing customer, we like, if they're emailing us, it's Tom or I responding. It's not a
Okay.
robot. It's always us. Because,
I like that.
yeah, it's super important to us.
That's amazing because dealing with a robot that keeps circling, like you ask them a question, they just like ask you another question back, and
When
then
they
you're
have
back
the
in
chat
another circle.
online,
It's
yeah.
like you're going nowhere, and then you just cancel it, and then you're
know.
done. Like, it sucks.
And I appreciate the fact that sometimes you can chat. You can open a chat to stores online, but I don't find it's ever been beneficial in my experience. Maybe once, but
No, it
I
really
find, let's be honest. Yeah. So we don't even have that because I think we tried that for a week and I said, Tom, we have a message. So it would just be him and we just couldn't keep
I don't
up
have
with it.
time to respond that instant to somebody when we did that. Yeah,
and,
so
and I just find the robots are they don't really help
no.
answer any questions. So we don't have that yet, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. So moving on to wholesaling. So how many stores are you guys in right now across Canada?
Probably about 115, I'd say.
Wow. Like how far and wide is this?
All the way to the west and east coast.
Yeah, Victoria to Nova Scotia.
Okay. How do you guys develop these relationships? Is it just word of mouth, or you're like DMing stores or calling stores? How do you get
every
in?
possible method? So email, obviously, reaching out to them that way. I was doing a lot of sales trips across Ontario. Like kind of like
That's so cool, man.
You're traveling
salesman.
traveling salesman. I had a briefcase. I threw some socks in there, some catalogs. Would just show up into a store and be like, "Hey, this is my product." We got a lot of customers that way. And now we're graduated past that. We're doing a lot of trade shows now. So we were doing the Gift and Home Show in Toronto at the end of July, the beginning of February.
Okay.
And now we're doing again the Gift and Home Show out in Edmonton. We're leaving Friday for that.
Okay, so you're bringing that that's
We
just for stores.
That's buyers come. There's all different vendors set up that are selling wholesale.
okay.
It's
It's not like the CNE.
No, it's
Okay.
not like the CNE. It's just vendors. So you have different companies there. Last time there's Jelly Belly, Scholastics, other type
Okay,
of
that's so interesting.
clothing, jewelry companies from across Canada and the States. They show
Okay.
up to these things.
So do you?
So we're just starting to get into doing more of these, where
Yeah.
the buyers are all in coming to one spot.
that
so-
makes things easier
and
for
we-
you. You don't
and
have to go to them.
Exactly. We set up our booth.
Okay. So how far in advance are you there to set up the booth? Because you said like you're there like
so this one we
crazy
have
hours.
this one we have like a company setting up the booth. We just go put the socks in.
Okay.
And we adjust little things about it, like we're paying some.
So you're not there like
no, like
you can often you can outsource setting up an exhibit, and then but that takes time to set up the signage because you have to plan it, like do the floor plans and set up the signage, and then we mailed the socks to our business partner's sister who lives in Edmonton where we're going. So we're gonna go pick our socks up there and then bring them to the trade show where we're gonna put them up on display. So
and then we're there taking orders,
you're
getting leads. And,
for sure.
And mingling. So.
Oh wow, that's so you're gonna bring an A game for this one, eh?
Exactly. Yeah. This will be our third show that we've done.
Third show.
Yeah, the first time out in Edmonton. The other two were in Toronto.
Okay, nice. And are you only selling Canada currently?
We have a few shops that sell in the U.S., but
you're focusing more on Canada.
More in Canada right now.
I think we'd like to get into the U.S. at some point. It's just because, there's three of us. It's challenging, but I think we'd have to get down to trade shows there, which is something we'd love to do.
Yeah, it's something that we're looking at doing eventually, but at the moment we're still focused on growing in Canada.
You can call it like a getaway vacation for you guys.
There's trade shows in Vegas, Atlanta,
Vancouver.
So we're down to. We're definitely gonna look at doing.
And if you like traveling, I mean, like why not, right? That sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies outsource their salespeople. So when they do trade shows, they have other people represent them. So often it's just Tom and I. And so it's fun, but we're tired. So at the end of the day, we look forward to what we're going to eat at the restaurant that night. Yeah. So it's a long day of just hustling, meeting people, chatting with people, getting to know the stores. But then at the end of the night, we pick a restaurant and then we go back to the hotel and do it all over again.
The last one, we were one of 5 sock companies at the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
So there was a...
we're the only. I think we're often the only owners.
We're the only owners out of the sock company.
I love that.
The rest are sales reps or whatever. So that's why it's important. That's what we like. I like having Jess there with me. It's nice to have both of us there talking to these people. This is like, hey, we do everything.
I can't applaud you more for that.
We are the business,
Yeah, because there's this whole different aspect when you're meeting the owners and the creators of the business and the ones who put all their hard work into it than just somebody who's paid to sell, right?
Yeah.
So I like I said, I can't applaud you more for that, for being there and being so hands-on with it. Like, so
you must have the same thing going with.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like for my clients, let's say you want to buy a house, I would be there with you. I'm not going to send somebody else to meet you because I genuinely care. Just like you genuinely care.
Charles
about your
has got an assistant now, you know?
Yeah, I do have somebody working in administration for me, but I try to be there as much as I physically can. There's just that aspect to it it's irreplaceable.
Because you like to know who your clients are. We like to know who our retailers are. So when I'm sending them their socks, I know exactly who's open. Like, it's just that connection, you know?
Yeah.
So
and we have some great retailers here in Ottawa as well.
Oh, yeah. So tell me about that.
Sugar Mountain at Bayshore Mall.
Okay.
They have a whole wall full of our socks. Stroked Eagle was the first customer that started carrying our socks.
Okay.
They're on Bank Street.
Yeah,
they have some great clothes there.
Stroked
I do a lot of shopping there myself. It's a nice store.
They have amazing clothes.
Okay. Let me check them out.
The Village Choir in Westboro.
Can you get one of them on the podcast?
I don't know. We will see.
Yeah.
You should get
check
both. Michael from Sugar Mountain.
I'm sure some people might be interested in it.
Let's look it up.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's look it up. I like that.
We got Sock City at the Tanger Outlets and Plaster Orleans.
Okay. So I
already said Village Choir. Okay, sir.
Sock City, they sell like
Jill.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I'm drawing a blank. There's more. See, I don't want to leave anyone else.
Yeah, you're not leaving anybody. Everybody who's seen is they know.
Tickled Pink in the Byward Market. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know the sock place at Tanger because they specialize in socks and underwear. Am I wrong?
They have sacks.
They have sacks. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
It's an awesome store. They have a great selection.
It was one of our customers from the first day. That's one of the 2 stores. Them Stroked Eagle were the first 2 stores that we. Literally, the first day we got the socks in, I went in with.
You just go straight in.
I went straight in with a briefcase and was like, "Hey, like we're a company out of we just started this business. You know, we design all the socks and they put an order in and they've been customers ever since." So
you got a good sales bone in you, man. Like that's intimidating for me.
See, I'm more intimidated by being on here with the camera on
Really?
than like walking into like and speaking to a stranger like one-on-one in person.
Okay,
like
really?
that doesn't intimidate me. But on the
Okay.
camera here, I'm like, oh, where am I looking? Am I doubling my words up? Like that's
Really?
I have
Okay.
to say he's a lot more relaxed than remember when I saw you on the Algonquin video
yeah.
when you were speaking at Algonquin. You were, you're the most relaxed I've ever seen you on video.
it's all a show right now.
So do you do any of the sales? Like, are you
Yeah.
walking in?
Yeah, I've done it before. I do it a lot at trade shows. I love people, but sometimes I can't always be on when I'm designing. So I'm in my
Gotcha.
zone. I have crazy hair. I'm in his t-shirt, you know. But then when I'm on, I love people and I love connecting with people. So
She's good at it too. She can do everything, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you guys as a team, like I would buy shit from you, for sure.
Well,
Well,
If
thanks,
I was a
appreciate
buyer,
we'd buy a house from you.
Yeah,
So.
nice.
And our third partner, he's great at it too. When he
Yeah,
when-
tell me about him. Tell me, yeah.
So his name is Bassam.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a great dynamic.
We've been
with
friends
him,
since
yeah.
we were 12.
Okay.
We brought him in right after we started the company. He handles a lot more back end stuff. He works at the bank,
Okay.
at a bank there in management at a bank. So he's kind of busy with that a lot of the time. We see him, but he helps out with a lot of different things.
Does your
behind the scenes.
financing? I'm assuming.
He helps with that, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm not organized, so you need.
I
Some,
suck
you need,
at-
I'm not an organized person. I'm like, I'm a mess, you know. Ask them like, stuff's all over the place. When it gets done,
Do you want me
Yeah.
to throw you under the bus, or do you want
No,
me
I
to
don't-
keep it cool?
it's all right.
Let's keep it cool. Let's keep it cool.
but you know, when things get busy, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
I'm the guy to call if you need to get it done. If you need it organized and done like cleanly and everything put in a certain place, I'm the wrong
Yeah,
person
me
for
neither.
that job.
Me neither.
But
Yeah.
push comes to shove, I'll get whatever. I'll stay up all night if I need to get things
Gotcha.
done.
So he does more of your accounting and finance and
And
bookkeeping. I'm assuming.
yeah,
But
he'll
he
help.
steps in. He's amazing with people too.
Yeah,
Everyone
Okay.
loves him. He's great. So what's great is all three of us can step in if there has to be one of us to represent or sell the product. We're all pretty. We all love people.
Yeah,
he
he
used
was-
to be a manager
sure.
at was it?
It was
Yeah, he
at
used
a
to-
restaurant
yeah.
in Fort
Okay.
McMurray.
Oh,
and then
wow.
the wildfires happened.
Oh.
He's a crazy story. Yeah.
So like he was driving out of there through the fires on like both sides, sent his videos. And that's right when we were starting this, I'm like, well, I'm starting this. Like, you don't have a job right now. Do you want to come help us get this started and see where it goes?
Wow, nice.
So, yeah,
his story about coming back from the
Wow.
wildfires, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
that was in 2016 too, right?
He
before-
literally-
right when we were
Right when you
getting
guys were
ready to
getting
launch this.
strapped and
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
he drove out of the fire with his family from Alberta, and he was saying, Jess, it was so hot, and then he took off his
Newborn
shirt.
in the back seat.
Yeah, took
Oh
off-
my God.
Yeah, it was wild. Had to leave basically all his belongings.
Yeah, left everything there, pretty much whatever they could fit in the car.
Wow.
I don't know, like-
We're all taken away.
Well,
and
God
then
bless them
Yeah.
Crazy.
being here.
But he has such a positive outlook, so we're really lucky to be working with
Yeah,
him.
he's a happy guy.
Yeah.
Very happy dude. So it's funny when we all stay in hotels though when we do trade shows, because there's Tom and I in one room, and then there's often a door separating us from Bassam.
I'm too cheap to get 2 rooms, so I'm like,
That is
just
2
gotta
rooms.
it's the same room, but with a door separating to the bedroom. You know, he gets
You
the
guys are
pull-out
best friends.
couch.
It's good.
Yeah.
You're good.
And we're all just sore, lying in bed watching our separate shows, and we're like, "How are you doing?" And then okay, and then Bassam has a massager for his shoulder, so he's doing that, and then we're all dead ordering a pizza, and it's just an epic.
I love the grind.
Yeah, it's like
when
a
you
whole
say
whole-
that, that's so awesome. Like it's a grind, and I love how
I
you
enjoy
guys
it
doing
too.
it.
I get a thrill.
What
What,
You
what?
too, yeah.
Let me ask you both. You got to tell me an answer. So what is the favorite part for both of you running this business?
just being able to work for ourselves, really.
Okay.
Like, I honestly work hard. I think we both work harder than for ourselves than we have for other people. Like, trust me, there's a lot of work. The work never ends,
Yeah.
right? There's always something to do, but there's also that freedom where it's a Tuesday afternoon, and you know what? I need to take a break
Yeah.
right now. Let's go catch a movie, or let's go do this. Doesn't happen often,
Yeah.
but it's there if I needed to,
Yeah.
right? And just like, hey, you know, I worked late last night. And if there's nothing going on the next morning, I can sleep in an extra couple hours. I don't need to get up,
Yeah.
right? So you have that flexibility.
For sure.
I think for me, that's probably
Okay.
And not having to answer to any, well, we still answer to the customers and the clients, that doesn't end, but not having a direct boss to answer
For
to,
sure.
right?
You're your own boss.
You're your own boss. What we're putting into the company is what we're going to get back out of it, right?
100%.
So like that's the cool part, and seeing it grow. Like I love sales, and I love watching the business grow. You know,
I can see how passionate you are, honestly.
you know,
So
I'm like, all right, this amount. All right, what can I do next year? I need to double this.
yeah,
I'll set like these goals for myself and for the company that where we need to be, right?
yeah, 100%. What about you, Jess?
I marry Tom's response. I love working for myself. I love seeing our work come into fruition, and whatever you put into, you know, sometimes when you're doing a 9 to 5, and we've both done it, it's great. But you know, I've worked for some amazing startups, but you see your work, like whatever you put into it essentially comes back. And, you know, often we'll set goals, you know, of what we're going to do, you know, say we do want to add more products to our line. So, you know, just creating these goals and achieving them is incredibly satisfying at the end of the day.
It's also pretty cool, like when you randomly see people wearing your socks.
That's just really
so, like,
cool.
She was at getting a pedicure the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and she looks down, and the lady's in her flip flops or sandals, and she's wearing our sushi socks. And Jess is like, I designed those, and like,
Do you walk up to them?
She's I think she told them that.
That's really
but
cool.
I don't know if they understood. Like that was like, oh, she's like, those are my socks, and the lady was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah.
She's like, I got them at Winners. I was like, and I come home and I say, Tom, do we even sell our socks at Winners? And he says, I don't think so. So sometimes we see our socks on websites. It's so random, just the things you
or like
see.
Sam sent me a picture because he's Muslim, so he's in the mosque.
Okay.
And there's a person, they take their shoes off when they go pray.
Yeah.
He's like taking a picture of the person praying in front of him, wearing the
your
Uptown
socks.
Sox on the bottom. So like you see them in random places more and more now, I'd say.
Even just at for me, it's the smaller moments that I enjoy too. So even when we had the pop-up at Christmas, I had a lot of friends, so many friends that would take pictures and say, Jess, I'm at your booth. And I'd say, that's amazing. You know, I had about 10 friends message me, and it's just those little moments that are almost more satisfying to me that, make it worth it rather than the big moments, I guess you could say. It's those little those humble moments.
Proving to people, like proving to ourselves, proving to people like it
there.
is possible to do something else besides, the ordinary or what's expected to do for a job, right?
Yeah.
Like when I told people I was starting a sock company, people looked at me like, okay, you're crazy.
Really?
They
didn't believe in you.
Or that's a good side hustle.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, no, I want to do this full time. Like this is going to be like a thing I'm going to do full time. I'm going to create a business out of it, not just like here selling socks all willy nilly. Right. Like this is a thing I want to create. I want to create a brand.
A lot of people
and watching that slowly, get closer and closer to our goals and the riders and having our goals change too, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I hit this goal, and what's next? What's our next goal as a company?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next thing we're doing? Sorry, I keep
no,
interrupting.
it's okay. I was just thinking because some people don't always understand what we do. Because if I just meet a friend I haven't seen in several years, or for example, they'll say, "Just what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I own a sock company," and they'll say socks. Well, I've had someone ask me, "Do you knit them?"
Do you knit them?
Yeah, imagine that'd be pretty cool too. But no, I don't knit them. So, but it's just people don't understand. Some people do those. People don't always understand where you can go with what we're doing, because we do want to add more products eventually.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I want to ask you before we end off is if you were to give some advice to somebody who were to start their own business, from what you've learned in the 7 years, what kind of advice could you give somebody looking to start off?
I'd say first thing is work hard.
Okay.
Whatever you think it's going to take more than that.
Okay.
And the second thing is don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. If it's something you believe in, find a way to do it. Don't let money be an obstacle, and work towards it. Like there's always a way to figure out how to do something. It's how bad you want to do it. That's
Jess?
what I say.
So there's this saying I always tell Tom, and it's about burning. I always tell you burn the boats. So there's a story, I forget which island it is, my apologies, but there's a conqueror, he goes to an island and he wants his whole army to conquer the island, and he says burn the boats so you don't have a plan B.
It was Cortez in Mexico.
Sure.
There we go.
I have a memory like a sieve, but I'm incredibly intelligent. I just have a bad memory. So anyways, when we're uncertain about things, I always tell Tom, just forget about this, burn the boats, like focus, and let's go. And it seems to always work for us. So sorry, go ahead.
We don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
Okay. This is it. This is our plan.
Really have to be
this is where we're going. We don't plan on ever working. We don't have an interest of getting a job working for anyone else again.
I love it.
This is our plan. Like that's the thing. That's what she means. Like burn the ships.
Burn the boats. We're just conquering and you just go.
This is it. Like, and this is going to work. We're going to make this work somehow.
I don't think that saying has ever really failed for us yet. And I don't think it ever will, but it's always just commit and don't have any, obviously you want to have some sort of buffer area, but you always want to commit and have faith and just own it and just do it. And it's going to work out as long as you're committed and fully passionate about what you do. So yeah, you have to give it your all. And the thing is, you also can't expect people to do, you have to do the dirty work. You really do. You can't just expect to be, I'm a business, you can't just put yourself on a pedestal and think I'm a business owner. It's going to be, you have to get down and dirty, and you have to be willing to do that.
I always say when there's you need one of two things when starting a business. You need a lot of money or a lot of time. One of the two, because it's going to take up one of those things that make it successful.
100%. Wow. You guys dropped a lot of knowledge on me, and I'm thankful to have you guys here and to learn from you guys. So I just want to say thanks again for coming on the podcast. And honestly, your socks are amazing. I can't say enough about them. So yeah,
thanks.
Cool.
Charles, appreciate it. Awesome,
Charles, thank you for having us.
I had a great time.
We definitely have a pair of socks to go with your awesome shirt. Sure. Palm trees. Yeah. So anyways, thank you.
Cool. Thanks again, guys.
Awesome,
Cheers.
Thanks.